Esther 5:1-14. Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house, and the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house. And it was so, when the king saw Esther the queen standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. And the king held out the scepter, the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. Then the king said unto her, What wilt thou, Queen Esther, and what is thy request? It shall be given even thee to the half of the kingdom. And Esther answered, If it seemed good unto the king, let the king and Haman come to this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him. Then the king said, Cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther has said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, What is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to half of the kingdom, it shall be performed. Then answered Esther and said, My petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them. And I will do tomorrow as the king hath said. Then went Haman forth that day joyful with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, he stood up not to move for him. He was full of indignation against Mordecai. Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself, and when he came home, he sent and called for his friends and Zeresh his wife, and Haman told them of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children, and all the tidings wherein the king had promoted him, and now he advanced him above the princes and servants of the king. Haman said, Moreover, yea, Esther the queen did let no man come into the king except unto the banquet that she had prepared but myself, and tomorrow I am invited unto her also with the king. Yet all this availeth me nothing, so as long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting in the king's gate. Then Zeresh their wife and all the friends said unto him, Let a gallows be made, 50 cubits high. Tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai be hanged thereon. Then thou and merrily with the king unto the banquet. And the thing pleased Haman, and caused the gallows to be made.